First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders that do rule well at Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the sincere brethren out there pushing this gospel in sincerity and truth. Say shalom to the humble and sincere sisters out there as well. This lesson will be entitled, Though Men Doubt You. I know this will just be a quick edification. So-called white man, right? Beginning with Esau, Edom, these other nations, especially the wicked Israelites, of our people, they doubt the things that we say. And they don't have the understanding that these words, the scriptures say, are faithful and true. The Lord is not a man that he should lie. And that the prophecies don't tarry. And whatever the Most High said, it will be accomplished. You understand? So even self men doubting you, saying that hey, Yahushua ain't coming, trying to scoff and laugh and ridicule the doctrine, trying to ridicule the faith, ridicule the scriptures and make it seem as if it's nothing. It's just a fairy tale, it's just a figment of our imagination and whatever the case is. The fact of the matter is, they just don't have the light. The Lord didn't bless them with the eyes to see and the ears to hear, so they don't really have no understanding, right? And we know that the gift of faith was only given unto whom? The elect, right? Faith is a gift given by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to the elect, right? Because in that faith lies strength, it lies obedience, it lies fear of the Lord, diligence and all the things that would lead us unto salvation. It is found in faith, So getting to the 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 3, it says, knowing the first that there shall come in the last days, right? Proving that we in the last days, scoffers walking after their own lusts. So you have a lot of scoffers, people that just come into, throw off the flow of the spirit, people that they come to ask questions, not to receive an answer, but to give an answer, but to we say it in Trinidad, to fight down talk, right? To look for arguments, to ridicule the word, to make mockery of the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Say walking after their own lusts, right? They're walking after their own desires, their own beliefs, and not after the true belief. Verse 4, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. So it's saying, where is this great promise? Right? You hear a lot of old people would use this, saying, I hear the world gonna end since I small, and my father before me and his father before him, and nothing has happened. The world's still here, and it will always be here. It have no big return and no Christ coming back, and they spew their faithless madness and think that they making sense, right? They say where's the promise, right? All they're reading this and that, yet where is the promise that all they're talking about? Do you understand? If the Lord gonna redeem his people, then why has he not come yet to redeem them? Right? Verse 5 is, for this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of Yahweh the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. As the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Nobody believed Noah, everyone doubted, right? Because rain didn't fall on the earth at that time. There was a mist that came up to water the ground, and they didn't believe Noah. You understand? And it reminds me of something in Dragon Ball, for all the brothers that does watch anime. Goku's, right, the main protagonist, Goku, his father's name was Bardock, and Frieza, right, he was basically like the ruler of their planet. He enslaved the planet, he and his father, and his father enslaved the planet and set him up to be ruler, right, Frieza. And Frieza was afraid of the strength of the Saiyans. You understand? And what Frieza ended up doing, he killed off Bardock's team when they went out on a mission, and Bardock was the only survivor. And he ran back, to the rest of his comrades, and there was a kind of bar-like area, drinking or whatever, and he came and he tell them all his teammates are dead. Frieza was the one that killed him, and they all laughed at him and mocked him and called him crazy and said Frieza would never do such a thing, right? The same Frieza that was ruling over their planet, that enslaved them, they was picking up for the enemy. Same niggas just pick up for the so-called white man and say, he's a different man. They say that Frieza would never do such a thing. No matter how much Bardock tried to warn them, they didn't listen. And in 2-2s, Frieza came and he annihilated them and the planet. You understand? Completely annihilated their planet. Same way with the days of Noah. No one believed Noah. And then what happened? They all perished in the flood. And they said the same things. Where is the promise? Where is the things that you said? But the time will come in this life, right? I'll continue to read it. The 7 say, but the heavens and the earth which are now by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition, right? Which is destruction of ungodly men, right? Scripture also say, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. I think it's at Isaiah 65 or 66, right? The Lord will come, Salakia, just bring it out instead of misquoting. Book Isaiah chapter 66 verse 15, for behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. Malachi 4:1, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. The day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branches. Right, so these words are faithful and true. These are the prophecies. You understand? These are the prophecies. This is what's gonna befall the earth. Right? This earth is gonna be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction and by the lasers from the Lord's chariots. You understand? Scriptures talk about the arrows compassing Babylon about. Right? Those arrows refer to the nuclear missiles, right? Because they look like arrows. They say gonna blot out, it will blot out the sky, right? Darkness. Hundreds of thousands, millions of nukes firing off at once. You understand? Ultimately, all controlled by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, his weapons of war. And that is how Esau gonna get subdued. That's how these other nations gonna get subdued. That's how people are gonna get put to death, right? The wicked Israelites. This is how the Lord is gonna purify the earth by fire, right? So do men doubt you? Okay. The book of Romans chapter 3 verse 3. It says, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect? Yahweh forbid. Let Yahweh be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. Right? So it says, what if some did not believe? Right? Does their unbelief have some effect, towards the prophecies? Do they alter faith by their unbelief? Do they alter faith by their scoffing? No. Their doubt does not make something a reality. Not because you don't, if you don't believe in something, that doesn't mean that it isn't true. You understand? And not because you believe in something means that it is true. It's all emotions. But the truth is not rooted in emotion, it is rooted in truth. You understand? It is rooted in righteousness and being right. And in, like, for example, these people believe that they could be 2 genders, 3 genders, 4 genders in one. Now, in their mind, in their strong delusion, they might believe that that is true, but in reality, in this real life, it isn't true. You could only be a male and a female. So these scoffers might tell you that the Lord ain't coming back. They might tell you the earth ain't gonna get destroyed by fire. That the so-called white man is not the devil that the Bible speaks of. That we are not the Israelites. They could come against the faith and say all these things, but that does not make it true. You understand? We know these things are true because we could prove that these things are true. You understand? We could go into the scriptures and show kingdoms and prophecies that were written way before it ever came to pass. And just like those came to pass, the rest would. All of the prophecies will come to pass. It's just a matter of time. The book of Psalms chapter 14 verse 1. Psalm chapter 14 verse 1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. The fool hath said in his heart, there is no power. They are corrupt, they have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. The Lord Yahweh looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand and seek Yahweh. They are all gone aside. They are all together become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. You understand? So only fools believe that there is no power. They say that, there is no existence of a God. And, genuinely so absurd to think about. In daily life, it shows you creator and creation, right? Now we know ultimately everything is the Most High, but it shows you that you look at a computer. A computer didn't create itself, right? The software, the hardware, all the applications, all the inner workings of the system, it wasn't created on its own. You understand? It was created by a being outside of the computer. Because in this there's certain laws that would govern this computer, right? The computer could only be turned on by clicking the power button, right? Certain apps would open, certain things, right? The mouse, you can't control the clicking icon with the keyboard. That isn't the mouse, right? Why the mouse is there. You can't type with the mouse, you have to type with the keyboard. So it have different laws that govern this computer, but there's somebody that was outside crafting this piece of technology. So that is exactly what the universe is. This universe is governed by certain laws. You jump, you fall back down to the ground. You understand? We know about the speed of light, how fast objects could travel. We understand how atoms are made. Protons and neutrons and electrons. Right? Water, everything, different elements, different particles is just created. Right? Time itself, space, matter. But there was somebody outside of the universe. You understand? He was outside of the universe. Well, they were outside of the universe. And they crafted this computer. You understand? They created creation. A creation cannot create itself. You understand? There was no atom that blew up on its own. Where did the atom come from? You understand? And they might tell you, well, if they don't know where the atom came from, but where did the Most High come from? And the fact of the matter is that one of the Lord's titles is Ancient of Days. He is before time, right? He is omnipotent. Scriptures talk about that in Sirach 19 verse 19. To be all powerful, he's omniscient, to be all knowing. So like yeah. This Sirach 19 and 19. And so read verse 20, but Salakia. Say that the fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and all wisdom is the performance of the law and the knowledge of his omnipotency. Right? So to have wisdom, is to understand the Lord's omnipotency. He is all powerful, he is all knowing, there's no bounds to his knowledge. You understand? This world, this universe was not created for itself. This Esau has you thinking that everything just happened by chance. It had no plans. We on a ball floating. We's a speck and nobody seeing us. We just a ball floating through the universe. And that spirit now will make you feel that, hey, well, we insignificant, we could do what we want. You understand? We could be what we want to be. It has no laws to govern nothing. Everything is chance. Life has no real purpose. Seeing that this was just a random selection. Life it just happened by mistake. Some end up blowing up and here we are. But it is not so. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai crafted life, created time, set forth prophecies, set forth times and seasons of when things will come to pass. The Lord created men. He created kings. He created servants. You understand? He created the righteous and the unrighteous. He created this story that we call life. And everything in it has a purpose. We all have a purpose. Every man, every spirit, not just Israel, all nations have a purpose to fulfill. Some may fulfill being of the elect. Some may fulfill being of the niggas that will be destroyed. Some will fulfill being the Edomites. You understand? We all will fulfill certain lots, and we're all created by Hashem Yahushai. So to say that there is no power is to be a fool, to have no understanding. Do you know that scientists can't explain life? These people cannot explain consciousness. They don't understand life. All they could tell you is what does happen, like they could write down, your emotions and your different moods and all these things, but they don't really understand life in itself. They could tell you how our life is created from a physical level, through sex and all these things. Your body dies and your organs and your body begins to decay, right? They could tell you the things that they see, but what about the things that is unseen? Lord say, my thoughts are not your thoughts. Esau's mortal brain does not have the capacity to comprehend Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So, okay. You understand? Yeah, but Salakia, for going off topic, I'll just bring out this last precept. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 1. Start verse 1 to say, but the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery, and their going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. For though they be punished in the sight of men, it is their hope full of immortality, as having been A little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded, for Yahweh proved them, and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace hath he tried them, and received them as a burnt offering. And in the time of their visitation they shall shine, and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. They shall judge the nations, and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. They that put their trust in the Lord shall understand the truth. And though they be punished in the sight of men, their hope is full of immortality. So these men, these scoffers, would doubt that. They would doubt the things that are written. But these words are faithful and true, and they that put their trust in the Lord will have truth, will have understanding, will have faith. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. You're doing this for nothing. You understand? That is a cult. All you don't know, the Bible is a white man's book. All you're just wasting all the time. It have no God. Nothing matters in life. Right? Making no account of your labors. You will stand in great boldness against them, and you will see it why. You will see why. Verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation so far beyond all that they look for. You're going to be bold. You understand? Why you're going to be bold? Because the things that we spoke through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua will come to pass. The famine, the death, you understand? The plagues, the suffering, the anguish, the bitterness, the destruction of America, the destruction of these other nations, the destruction of the wicked 2/3 of our people, the 2/3 Israelites, and the salvation of the elect will all come to pass. The MOTB, the main prophecy, will come to pass. And when the devil shows his fangs and shows you who he really is, all that will come to pass when his secrets are made bare. You understand? They're going to see your salvation. The Lord ain't going to hide it and save you in secret. The Lord is going to reward you openly. You understand? The Lord is going to reward you openly. They're going to see you getting beamed up by those chariots. The same thing that they laughed at. You understand? When we tell them the UFOs is the chariots of the Lord, those are the same vehicles they're going to see you getting beamed up into, and they're going to be left on this earth to burn. Verse 3, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. That the madman, that the fool, that the dunce. You understand? He going crazy. He don't know what he's saying. Bible send him mad. Alright? Verse 4, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. Dog, take the poison now, boy. So you telling me you rather have no work, boy, or you go eat, boy? You's a fool then. You want to dead, boy? You understand? How you go say them thing? How you go want to see this earth get destroyed, boy? How you want to see people die from hunger? You understand? That's what the Bible teaching all, yeah? Right? This man stand up out there in a dress, you know? You understand? I know that man know all of a sudden the man stand up there in a dress, you know, with Bible and thing like them fellas going mad, boy. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. Right? No account of his labor, so they're telling us, well, all that he doing ain't gonna, that they mean nothing. Verse 5, how is he numbered among the children of Yahweh, and his lot is among the saints. Therefore, well, that is basically it. You understand? So even though they doubt, even though they doubt Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, it's not us, and they doubt the word of the Lord, just because they don't believe, that ain't gonna stop anything from happening. They're gonna see what faithlessness does bring forth. You understand? They're gonna see the true power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And the men that they doubted, the men that they sought to kill, the men that they scoffed at, ridiculed, they're gonna be the same ones putting them to death. And with that, all praises and glory unto the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Bashem Kodash, Shalom.